for rolling for the second time. I've managed to start the mushrooms because I just really wanted to have them done before I started the real project, which is today risotto. I had a risotto yesterday. It was at Pincho's. It had a nice flavour when it came to the mushrooms, lacking in everything else. And I'm sad to say I was a bit disappointed, and they should really do better. So today I'm making my own, and I'm going to see if I can try and make a better one. So to prepare for this, I started making the mushrooms, cooking the mushrooms, just to have them done, because we're not going to have them in until the last minute. So we're starting off with a couple of shallots and some garlic. We're just going to cook these until they go a bit soft. Mushrooms may almost be done. You want to cook mushrooms, I learned this just a while ago, that you want to cook mushrooms dry before. This was news to me, because they have a lot of water residing inside them. So if you cook them dry, you get rid of all the surplus juices, and the flavour comes out. And if you want to add butter later, you can do that, or garlic, or whatever your thing is. Okay, I'm burning this stuff. I'm not a TV show host, and I know I can run my mouth, but still it's difficult just talking out of my arse like this, because this dish is sort of like, it takes a bit of time, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to keep talking about to make this fun or interesting. And I'm using a white cooking wine because I'm a lazy bastard and I couldn't be bothered to go and get the real thing. And it really could be a good thing that I didn't, because I would just have ended up drinking. I would have ended up drinking the entire bottle out, except for the one glass you put into this dish, and I would have a good time, except no one else would. So our mushrooms are starting to release water, juices. I'm not a cook. I'm not sure. I know what I like, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to cook what I like and incorporate the taste and flavours that I enjoy in my food, which is mostly fatty stuff like cheese, cheese and garlic, like and lots of meat, and creamy sauces, and all kinds of unhealthy stuff. So that's what I do. I eat once a day, very unhealthy, but I get to eat whatever the fuck I want. And that's a good deal for me, because I can't keep up with all the health stuff anyway. Well, this is starting to look a bit like Jamie Oliver's show, because I have guests coming, and he doesn't want to be filmed, but we're going to film him anyway. Just turn around and get him on camera. He's a bastard and deserves it. So this is what I'm doing. I'm doing like a couple of experiments today, food-wise, and I have some people over to come and test it out. But we're not going to film that bit. People had voiced certain concerns about that, and I finally concurred, and we're not going to do it. So what you have here is what you get. our mushrooms should be done soon, which doesn't really matter because we're supposed to cook this in the wine. You know, I only read the recipe for this once, and now I'm sort of just making it up as I go along. So we're putting in the rice here, and we're going to cook that in the wine until it goes a bit sort of see-through and glossy. And after that we're going to add water, and just keep adding water until it's all gone. So the recipe said something about 8 to 9 deciliters, but I go with a litre, a bit more, because you never know. Sometimes you feel like you got it right, and it turns out a little bit too al dente to use a different expression. So I just keep a deciliter or two on hand just in case I want to just soak them a bit more. So now I'm just going to be standing here running my mouth for about 25 minutes, and that's not going to really work. So what I'm going to show you is a couple of more minutes. The first times I add water, which is, by the way, really fucking, well, it's tough business. You just stand here and you just keep on mixing the rice with the water, and it's fulfilling. It's wonderful work, but I really don't feel like sharing the experience, so we're going to come right back after this, and I'm going to show you what it looks like a bit further into the cooking. The old toaster trick. Oh, here I am laughing at my own jokes. Yeah, how sad. So, we're on the last batch of the risotto. I've been dosing it with water. I made a split decision just to keep on adding water until it was gone. I've used deciliter more than I should. Well, more than the original recipe said that I should. And I'm starting to see sort of like a, well, I'm not going to get poetic about it. It looks good. Fuck it. It looks good. I haven't tasted it yet, because the way I learned to do it is sort of just make this shit and then season it when you're done. And what I did with the mushrooms was that I peppered them with white pepper. So they're a bit strong right now, but as soon as I mix it in with the rice, I think it's going to taste really good. What we have today is sort of like the unconventional way of doing it. I'm not a real big fan of Parmesan cheese. I think it's nice, but I think there are cheeses that are better. We make lovely cheeses in Sweden, and one of them is called, I'm not going to say the name of the brand that makes it, because I don't want to play favourites, and they're not paying me any money. And since this is a capitalistic country, I'm going to go with pay me, or I'm not going to fucking mention you. But this is the cheese I like. It's a strong, matured Vicar cheese. To be clear to the Swedish viewers, it's Lauda Prästost. And the rice is absorbing the water, still sort of like a quick rate, which would suggest that it could take a bit more. But I'm not really, see, I don't have a real sort of real experience with risotto. I was in Copenhagen a couple of years ago, and my girlfriend and I, we were at this restaurant, and she ordered champagne risotto, and I almost laughed at her. It was just so fucking girly. It was like an episode out of Sex and the fucking City. But we got to our order. I had ordered a carbonara, and that was only because even when it's really bad, it's still kind of good. But I tasted a risotto, and that was the first experience I ever had with risotto, and it was lovely. It was really fucking good. And a couple of years went by, and I decided to try and make my own. I didn't even know you had to have special rice for the occasion. So I got everything you're supposed to get, and I did it according to the recipe, and it turned out pretty good. And I fell in love with the dish, and I've been trying to make it a couple of times since then. Fucked it up a couple of times, and then once it really came out good. So what I'm trying to do right now is replicate that moment, except that today when I put the mushrooms in, very peppered with white pepper mushrooms, I'm going to add some basil into the mix. Not really sure why, it just stood out when I went to the store when I got the groceries. It was freshly grown basil, and it didn't turn out to be a hell of a lot. I was expecting it to at least look a bit more, but you know, now it looks really nice and green, which adds a little bit of colour to it. And when you look at TV shows like Jamie Oliver's or Gordon Ramsay, people like that, they want to put colour into the dish. So this is what I'm trying to incorporate, that way of thinking. A little green here, a little green there. And what we're doing now is we're going to stop cooking it and just keep it heated. And just mix it in. And well, before we go any further, I'm going to put some white truffle oil on this. I'm pretty sure there's only one brand that really, one brand that the stores carry over here that is white truffle oil, but I'm still not going to say which one it is. And this puts a real nice sort of nuance to the flavours in there, which is actually quite lovely when you eat it. Because what I didn't realise that the first couple of times when I made this dish, I wanted to have something on the side, you know, like a piece of meat or something. And then I sort of came to realise that this is sort of like the entire dish by itself. It doesn't really need anything else, but what you want to do, what I want to do, is try to get as much flavour in there as I possibly can, because I'm funny that way. I mostly go overboard, completely overboard with flavours. But, you know, I try to tell myself that it's charming. And here we're adding the Vicar cheese, a hell of a lot more than the recipe says. But when it comes to fatty foods and sort of unhealthy diets, I think it's best to go all in, you know, just really fucking go for it. And I'm not even going to tell you to take a walk or anything stupid like that. I'm just going to say eat the stuff, just love life, die on, make a good looking corpse. Or you can go vegan, which this basically is, except for the butter and the animalistic oils and stuff, and the cheese. But it's basically a vegetarian dish, and my little brother David, he really enjoyed it, and I think he wants to make it for his girlfriend, because every time she comes around for dinner, family dinners and stuff, she's a vegetarian, and my family is a pretty open fucking family. I mean, you can come, you can be gay, you can be whatever the fuck ever, and you'll be understood and greeted with open arms. But religious people and vegetarians don't get a lot of room. They get their fair share of understanding, but we're not going to cook anything different for you. You know, if you want to be different, fucking bring your own food. So this is the first time I ever made anything, which is actually quite horrible, really. But I keep forgetting that she's a vegetarian. No one else in my immediate vicinity are vegetarians, so I just forget. And this time it just happened that I made something that was essentially vegetarian anyway. So she enjoyed it, and he now wants to learn how to make this. And I've agreed to have a special day with him when I make this dish from beginning to end, with him checking out every step so he can be a good boyfriend and cook a romantic dinner. So here we go, it's done. I think we're going to use a little bit more cheese and go completely over the edge, because what the fuck am I going to do with it anyway? I would like to put some cream into this, but nobody's ever put cream into risotto as far as I know, and I don't want to ruin what could be a lovely dish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and put cream into it when I'm making it for someone who doesn't really care. I mean, this has a lot of cheese in it. I mean, it's scary. It's almost American. I think it's going to be tasty. I'm going to be the one tasting it. And so what we do have here is a risotto, with garlic, mushrooms, fresh basil, Vicar cheese, and salt and pepper. And here we go. I'm going to get a sort of plate and take a quick bite. I want to remind you that I haven't tasted one single, not a single bit during the making of this dish. I've just used my common sense, what I think would be good in the end. And the only question here is the rice going to be glorious, or is it going to be a little bit chewy? And we don't want chewy. I tried to make chewy once, and just to have a bit of texture to it, and nobody liked it. Well, they don't like the flavours, but they weren't sure about the chewiness. This is amazing. I'm going to have to give myself a really big pat on the back here, because this was good.